Hey guys, welcome to the channel and welcome back to another video. On this quick video, I want to talk about Deion Sanders' coaching contract details that are kind of emerging right now regarding his details of the contract that he just picked up with the University of Colorado after leaving Jackson State. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is because when it first came out that he was leaving Jackson State, and I looked at the general idea of how much he'd be making where he was going or where he was hired at University of Colorado, I said a lot of this is about the money. And so I did another video explaining why I think it's about the money, but I wanted to follow up with the actual contract details for you guys and sort of have this quick conversation about these details so you could understand the increase in pay that Deion got when he left Jackson State to come over to University of Colorado. So I want to talk about the financial terms of Deion's new contract with the University of Colorado. This is going to be a fairly short video, but it's going to be one that's going to be trying to explain to you guys and just kind of go over what these details are. Now, this is a financial channel and we talk a lot about money. And so therefore I want to follow up with this particular uh, information because I thought it was interesting how Dion spoke very candidly about the fact that this wasn't about money. His move from Jackson State, the historically black college university in Jackson, Mississippi, to come over to the University of Colorado. But as we go through these details, you're going to see that a lot of it had, this is a big jump from where he was at. So, for us, it would be like a $30,000 raise going to a $500,000 raise plus some bonuses. So if you making $30,000 somewhere and somebody offer you 500,000 to go somewhere else, the chances are you're going to go somewhere else, even if you want to say it's not about the money, but the money is going to have some bearing on you leaving because you can get assistance paid. You can live in a different city. Maybe the city is a little more crime free, which is what Dion talked about, or he mentioned several times when you watch his podcast or the things he puts on Instagram. So the details have come out. So let's talk about them. Let me share this with you guys. So his contract at University of Colorado is going to be $29.5 million over the course of 5 years. Now, just to put that in perspective, at Jackson State University, he was making $1.2 million, and that had to be spread out over 4 years. So roughly $300,000 a year is what he was making at Jackson State University. As compared to now, it looks like it's going to be around little over 5 million a year, and that's spread out from each year. He's going to receive $5.5 million in year one. Now, here's how that breaks down for you guys. His base contract for coaching football only in that for that 5.5 million in year one is only $500,000 for coaching. But he also is going to get another 1.75 million in year one for radio and TV and public appearances. So that's an additional 1.75 just for showing up and being in public and going on TV and doing radio shows. But he's also going to get on top of that 500,000 for coaching and the 1.75 for radio and TV and public appearances. He's also going to get another 1.75 million for promotions and fundraising. Now, promotion and fundraising. Now, the last 1.5 million for year one for his new contract is simply for development of student athletes, right? So, in other words, a good three and a half, 1.75 mil for radio, TV, and public appearances, and 1.75 mil for promotion and fundraising. About 3.5 million is for Dion just being Dion, being outgoing, getting out there, talking to people, shaking hands, smiling, laughing, bringing good vibes to everybody, bringing in some money, fundraising to the school. So, develop what they call development. He's bringing in money. So a good 3.5 million, more than half of his first year salary, is for Dion to be Dion, to get out there and shake hands and hug babies. All right. So year one is just Dion being Dion, period. It's, him getting out there and doing what he has to do. Now, year two, Dion is going to get about 5.7 million. And the breakdowns are similar for how he's paid every single year. But year two, Dion he's going from 5.5 million total to 5.7 million total. Now, year three, Dion goes to 5.9 million total. right? Year 4, he goes to 6.1 million per year. All right. And then year 5, which is the last year, is where he gets 6.3 million per year total. So if he, now here's the other thing you guys got to keep in mind. If he leaves Colorado for any particular reason, he decides to go somewhere else, after year 1, he's going to owe Colorado $15 million in what they call liquidated damages, right? In certain spaces they call that LDs, right? So in liquidated damages or LDs, he's going to owe Colorado 15 mil if he leaves after year 1. Now, if he decides to leave after year 2, he's going to owe Colorado 10 million. If he leaves after year 3, he owes them 8 million. If he leaves after year 4 or 5, he's going to owe the University of Colorado 5 million. Now, here's the other kicker. If the University of Colorado decides to buy him out, let's say something crazy happens and they have to buy him out per the contract, and get rid of him in some fashion or form, then the school would owe him 75% of the remaining base of whatever his contract is at that point, and any supplemental salary that's left on the contract. So I wanted to point this out to you guys. So there's terms on both sides, right? If he decides to go, and if they decide to cut him, or if he stays the whole time, that's kind of the parameters of what his contract looks like. Um, and so, hey, the deal is this, guys. Deion Sanders is making good money. Now, don't get me wrong. If he goes there and has some stellar years, year 1, 2, 3, all of a sudden, he's back in the bowl games and he's bringing and generating a lot of money for the University of Colorado, and he's sitting up here, uh, you know, um, really doing well in terms of wins. He's, winning 9, 10, 11, 12 games. Then, there's a chance that after year 2, 3, 4, somebody else could come snap him up. Say a bigger school with a bigger endowment and can pay him even more money. Auburn, who knows what happens to Alabama once their coach leaves, USC, these bigger schools, because University of Colorado is considered sort of a mid-sized school. Yeah, they're in a Power 5 conference, but they're considered sort of a mid-sized school, mid to large school. Okay, they're not tiny by any means, but they're kind of mid to large. But there's some larger, bigger endowment schools out there that are bigger football with better football background in the last 15, 20 years, more wins and more success recently than Colorado. So if one of those other schools come a calling, then there's a possibility that his new team, his new school could buy him out or help him. However this works, guys. The thing is that what we have to understand is that this is about money. There's a lot of, sure, there's some ancillary things that go along with it. The crime rate is better. The lack of crime in Boulder is a lot different than the middle of Jackson, Mississippi, where he was, right? Better facilities at the University of Colorado than there was at Jackson State. So there's other things, maybe some different opportunities for his kids to shine on what he considers to be a higher level of competition or even exposure for his kids, and maybe to play against some of the other top kids in the country, that they can do at University of Colorado that they couldn't do at Jackson State. And he believes that that competition wasn't where it should have been. These are all things that are also play along with his decision to leave Jackson State. But this money thing and this contract that's lucrative and way more than what he was getting at Jackson State is a reason. And it does play a role. These are some hefty numbers that we're talking about, guys. And this is what negotiating contracts, especially these large athletic contracts, and you're talking about large endowments from these schools, the universities that are paid. Trust me, college tuition didn't go up over the last 20, 30 years in such phenomenal and huge ways for no reason. These schools got addition, these schools have lots of money that they can delve out. Unlike some of the HBCU schools, specifically Jackson State, where Deion left. So I just want to drop that nugget on you guys and give you guys an idea of what this contract looks like. And if anything else breaks on this story, because I find this story very, very fascinating because of the personalities involved. There's obviously a racial aspect that's involved, and so it has a lot of people wondering and wishing and looking back on it, saying, "Hey, what could have been done better? Why did Dion leave?" And I think it's an important topic to look at, but it definitely has to do with money. So, hey, guys, as I say always, the best person to take care of the old you is the young you. You guys take care of yourself and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.